I might have been down, not out. It's on sight, you gon' figure that out. And I might have been down, not out. Only one thing I gotta know now is, are you ready for the comeback? You know we don't want that. Let me see them hands up all the way front back. Yeah, it's the comeback. Are you ready for the comeback?
Look at that for a view. It's such an incredible venue here. A long drive down from Calais for me and my wife, and a long drive for some of the age group athletes who are racing the long course, which will be taking place tomorrow. They're going to completely rebuild sections of the course to make it okay for the long course. But look at that. Oh.
It's a really nice place to set up an event like this, and this is why XTERRA is one of the most successful ones. The lake is nice, but the forest inside the trails are wonderful, and this is what makes one of the toughest but nicest XTERRAs around the world.
Well, we've had events running here for over 30 years now, and oh, look at this. This is the bike park. This is what the athletes will be seeing again and again and again, and they'll be running on this in the short track as well. We've seen the little kids, the young kids, and then the mini kids racing. They've just finished and had the awards ceremony. But here we go. This is the start list. We've got 23 women. We've got from Switzerland, New Zealand, France, Czech Republic, Italy, Austria, USA, Great Britain and Germany. Look at that for a mixture.
Back in 2019. It was an amazing experience, something very new.
So we've got a mixture of nationalities there, and we'll talk about the selection of the athletes a little bit later on, because the idea of bringing some new blood into this. You see some of the higher start numbers there. They will be athletes who are not part of the really high ranking, but they've been bought into this race to make it a little bit more interesting.
Okay, now let's take a quick look on our favorites. We picked some of the females of the field, and we tried to pick 3 best.
Yeah, the team have picked out Loanne Duvoisin from Switzerland there, wearing 55. All the information about her is there on the screen.
A good swimmer, really good mountain biker, good runner.
Another good mountain biker is Alizé Patiez from France. They're wearing 57.
She's not that fast on the swim.
No, but that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
She will need to overtake some people.
Loanne Duvoisin from France, racing for the Angers team. They're wearing 58. Yes, not so fast in the water for Alizé, but then the making up of that distance on the bike.
I think we have to go now to the interviews. We have Jackie coming all the way from Australia for this race.
Yeah, I did the first short track in Czech Republic back in 2019. It was an amazing experience, something very new for us and to XTERRA. A very tricky course there, actually. It was absolute carnage, but the crowds and the atmosphere there were amazing. And I think that was just the start of things to come for XTERRA in short track. So 3 years later, after 3 years off from any XTERRA and triathlon racing, I'm back here in Xonrupt, XTERRA France, to do part of the short track series. So I'm super excited. A new format this time round, swim, bike, run, 3 rounds through, and pray that you don't get lapped out. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. XTERRA France has always got the best atmosphere, but to have a short track where everyone can see and all the spectators can watch you is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm excited for it.
Thanks there from Jackie from Australia via Newcastle or Stoke-on-Trent. You might remember as Jackie Slack. But now we're going to go down to Chun, and he's going to give us an overview of the course.
Hi guys, we truly have an amazing course for the short track. Let me give you a quick preview. The swim will start right behind me in the beautiful Lac de Longemer. 200 meters, round 2 buoys, and head out for transition, and then for the bike. After a fast and furious start, the athletes reach this beautiful wooded section where they will test their technical skills. As soon as the athlete crossed the Victoria Bridge, they enter what XTERRA France is famous for, the bike park. A series of man-made jumps, turns, bumps and ramps that makes it exciting for the spectators and the athletes. At the end of the bike, the athletes will take on the exact same course for the run. this is where the race ends, under the famous XTERRA France arch, with a whole lot of spectators cheering for this incredible show. So, who do you think will be winning? Looking forward to it. Good luck, everybody. You think this is loud? Wait for the short track.
Well, that was loud, yes, but it's been a lot louder during the morning. We're going to go to the maps now, and I think Roger's going to take you around the course.
There we are. So for the swim, we have a 200-meter swim anti-clockwise, so they're going to be turning on the left. 200 meters for the swim, for the fast swimmers, it's going to be around 2.5 minutes. So it's going to be very quick. Then we go to a 1.1 kilometer bike lap that they're going to do twice. It's full of turns with the bike park, small hills, and very, 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 very hectic. They're going to do that twice. Going to go into the transition again, put the shoes, the running shoes, and start the running section that we're going to see now, but basically it's the same lap. And then we're going to be shown in green. We see they go off from transition up to where we are, go around, back down to the church of the lake, through the, before the bike park, and then they're going to swim again.
And that's going to be the interesting bit with the idea of changing from one discipline to another. Many, many years ago, back in the UK, we had something called the Quick Change Triathlon. And that was based pretty much on some of the Australian events that were being trialled at the time. And it was swim, bike, run, swim, bike, run, swim, bike, run. Exactly the same as this, but this is going to be a lot more intense.
It is. It is going to be less than 50 minutes race. And let's see if we see some... you know, some highlights, some action. I don't want to say falls, but you know, some overtaking.
Well, I think you made it quite clear. This is going to be a very fast swim. You've got 200 meters. Now, the stronger athletes, are they going to go onto the left-hand side, trying to pick up that short line to the boys? There's going to be some interesting swimming techniques as they hit the boys. Then they're going to come around and then exit, and it's a fairly steep climb straight up into transition. Then, obviously, they've got to keep 45 seconds off from the start.
So we're entering the last half minute before the race. We're going to see who's taking the left side of the swim and who's taking the right side of the swim. Huh?
I can see Marta Mendito there, the Italian athlete, just looking to her right. She's one of the smaller athletes next to Duvoisin. Good position.
30 seconds to go.
Oh, this is tense. Now, they've taken the athletes this far because of the stones.
10 seconds to the start. This is going to be so interesting.
We can see one athlete taking a position right at the back there.
She's taking the concert. There we go, there we go. Athletes, all the girls are in the water. And I can't wait to see that first turn on the left. Let's see who is on the lead.
It's going to be interesting to see if we can pick out the hat numbers. But this is going to be really intense. There's been a lot of discussion amongst the athletes. What do they do with their swim cap and their goggles? Do they keep them with them? Do they put them in the transition box?
They do have to keep the goggles and the swim caps with them. And they are only allowed to not swim with the cap if they break it.
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise it's mandatory to put them on again.
Now, it's easy to put a swim cap on, but it's not easy to put a swim cap on when you're running and you're hot and you're sticky and you've got possibly mud on your hands because you've come off the bike in the forest. So this is going to be a very intense moment when they have these transitions. And we know that so much time can be lost in transition. And that's, I think, where we're going to see the race won and lost. The bike course has got several sections where you can overtake. You've been out on the course this morning, Roger. The two sections that you think there's an overtaking possibility, where are they?
The two sections that it's safe to overtake is right at the big transition area behind us, and the other part approaching the church. Definitely not on the bike park. It's a little bit dangerous, and definitely not here in front of us where the woods, because there are a lot of roots and really sharp corners, so that makes it a little bit tricky.
So over half the swim has been completed so far.
We see that the line is getting longer and longer. There are almost no girls swimming one next to the other. The first top 5, top 6.
No, it's
and we're getting the last. We see some girls are getting a little bit slow on the turns. After all, it's an aggressive racing, so
It
you
is
have
from the very start,
you need to
isn't it?
take your position and maintain it and defend it, right? So we see the girls approaching now, straight
And
line.
you can see that the first swimmer, the work that's been done underwater. There's a much more powerful bit of work underwater there. And you can see some of the swimmers who are further back in the pack. The frequency of the arm movement is higher, but they're not doing as much work underwater. Right, 2 together.
Somebody's trying to take some lead. Funny and interesting thing about swimming is that if you're a really good swimmer, you really can swim fast. But this means that you also get tired faster because you're quicking harder with the legs and you're basically like put your heart rate really, really high.
And coming out of the water, you're going to go uphill immediately. You hit the beach.
Exactly. You go from a flat position using both arms and legs.
And here we go.
And you start.
Oh,
So
Kingsford
Samantha
is
I couldn't see the name of the other girl. Samantha Kingsford is on second place. Alize is also in a really good position. Duvoisin also.
Well, that's good for
They're
her. She
basically
wants to keep in
together.
contact with that lead
Karina
group.
Vassel also.
Marta Mendito on the right coming through there for Italy.
They like the top 5 girls are really, really close one to each other. Some problems on the transition.
Yeah.
I think it was not a good idea to leave the shoes on the cleats.
Well, that was Kingsford who just stumbled there as she came onto the bike.
So we keep seeing everyone together on the transition.
Oh, it's quite intense in there, isn't it? Look at that.
More and more athletes coming in.
Now, that was one of our... I think that was Stupkova, the Czech athlete there just coming in. This is a relatively easy section, but when they go from here into the forest, then suddenly that's when it really gets quite intense, and that's where the biking skills are really going to take an athlete into a commanding position. Running along there, we've got a camera team, we've got mobile cameras all over the place.
Fortunately, we cannot really see a lot the numbers and the colors of the kids because it's a bit dark in the woods. So we're gonna wait for some bike splits.
Yeah, rather than trying to guess the positions, we'll wait until we get the bike splits coming up through the timing team.
We're gonna have the first bike splits real soon.
Now, this section of climbing here is not particularly difficult, but once they've gone past this camera shot, there's a really tough, snappy climb taking them up. And when you get to the top of that first climb, there are effectively 2 routes to go. One is really easy, and the other one is really quite difficult. But our leaders have already negotiated that, and they're now coming through the wide, open section.
We see the first woman, I think it's Duvoisin. Maybe Alize
I think it's Alize, actually. Yes.
Alize already on a big lead.
Alize
Maybe Samantha did some mistakes on the transition, on the exit of the transition. And we see here more than 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds.
Because there's an eliminator within this.
Shot on who's trying to catch up with Alize, please.
Now,
Some bike splits.
The whole idea of the eliminator is that if coming into any of the transitions, the athlete is more... Oh, here we go. So, Felder was out of the water first with Kingsland, Patier, Allen, Duvoisin. Okay. Yeah, so if you come into transition and you are more than 120 seconds behind the leader, you are eliminated from the race. This is to thin out the athletes because what we can't have is a lapped athlete because we're using the bike course as a section of the run course.
Exactly.
And
therefore, there would be a lapped athlete who is lapping the person who just lapped him or her.
So there, on the first of the sections within this incredible bike park.
So we still see Alize Patis really pushing in the front, completely alone. Let's take 23 seconds there.
Now, the construction in here is a miracle of civil engineering. The guys have been working so hard. This is absolutely rock solid. We went past it today just to experience the build. It's so solid.
So we see more girls passing through the bike park. We know that Alizé is leading actually, and she has 2 girls following really close, and in 4th place is Duvoisin.
Just see if we can find a link to the timing.
Soon we're gonna have the first lap on the timing. Alizé, I think she's already starting the 2nd lap, followed by, yes. I think that's Samantha.
No, it's really the effect of the light in the forest here. It's really quite difficult to pick them out. So we're going to have to rely upon the timing. She has
an orange helmet.
Now you can see that little bit of a section we see here. There's a mixture of roots and slightly loose soil. We're lucky that it hasn't rained too much. We had a very big downpour a couple of days ago, but the forest has dried up really well. What we also know is when they've gone past this section and they're out onto the grassy section, which can be quite fast, they'll be taking a line and they'll be beating the grass down. So that's going to make it quite a fast track. The outer section there is very wide, and that's where an overtake could take place. But the choice of the athlete then is overtaking the thicker grass or keep the track on the flattened grass. So we saw Felder going through there from the USA, Karina Vassler from Austria just making a move behind her. Katja Kren there from Austria, one of the younger athletes, a winter triathlete as well. She's won medals in both disciplines. So Patier's and Benoit there. She's, well, Kingsford, Zemanova, Mendito, Alan Felder, Duvoisin. Those are our race leaders, ladies and gentlemen. This is fast. This is really fast.
It's really fast and really unexpected. I mean, I'm really happy that Alizé is pushing so strong.
Well, she's put a ghost to bed because Alizé, yesterday, she tried in the bike park and she had a bit of a skid and hit the ground. Didn't seem to injure herself, but she was obviously, to go out and then ride that again, knowing that there was an area where you've failed, she's now coming back and she's showing the strength.
I'm really excited to see this first run to swim transition.
Well, this is going to be quite an experience.
Now we have Alizé, 9:25 at the pass. So that's 4 seconds, and this is Loanne, 5 seconds behind Alizé.
So Alizé has been working very hard over the winter months.
More than 10 seconds to the leader.
Oh. So
I think that's...
Is that 10 seconds?
Yeah, no, Zemanova. I think that's Zemanova.
Yeah.
And now we have
That's Mendito.
Mendito in less than 20 seconds, followed up by Samantha and Duvoisin.
Oh, we promised you something special, but just look at these images. It's so compact and so intense. The crowds, we know that the crowds here in Xonrupt are one of the best on the circuit. So Patier is now in transition, racking the bike. She's going to move onto the run shoes.
We see Alizé and Loanne together putting these running shoes. Alizé runs first,
yes.
and she did a really nice transition. That's 0, 1, 2, and 3 seconds,
yep.
3 to 4 seconds. And then we see the other girls coming in.
And as they come into transition, there's a large timing position which will tell them the amount of seconds they are behind the race leader.
I think Loanne is now going to slowly try to catch Alizé, and then they will start racing together for the next.
Yeah, so of the two of them, which is the faster on the run?
That's very difficult to say. It all depends on the amount of energy that you spend on the bike.
Yeah. We had a discussion coming into this. I can see Marta Mendito, her stride is bringing her up already.
Yes, Marta started really, really strong. Duvoisin also. Samantha Kingsford.
And it's quite hot outside. We've got quite a degree of humidity out here. And that looks like Erbanova. With the hair behind her and the ponytail.
literally
That's
cannot-
Erbanova, I'm sure, from the Czech Republic.
That's Karina Vassel, that's for sure.
Yes, yes. Again, a legend from multisport with medals across the board for cross triathlon, cross duathlon, and of course winter triathlon.
So I guess at the start of the swim, it's going to be Alice and Solène together. And if Marta keeps running at the same pace that we've seen her running at the beginning, she's going to be third. But now we see Solène alone, running behind the big transition place. And we don't know if she's leading or if Alice is in front or behind.
No, I think if you look at her past timings, Solène Bitados has moved into the elite section, having taken a step from the age group racing.
Solène is still on the third, and then we see Marta here coming in third position.
Look at that running load.
Okay. She's running quite fast, but she still has 2 more mini triathlons to go.
But we've seen her do
And
this.
we see her suffering already, yeah?
Yeah.
So,
But Duvoisin there, she's tracking her. Important for her. She knows how strong an athlete Mendito is. They've raced together along the XTERRA circuit and on the world circuit, European circuit. So she knows what a good runner she is. So she's tracking her.
so actually we have Alice in the first place, second place Solène following her really close, and then we have Marta and Loanne running really fast. That's our top 4 women, and I think it's Jindiska from the Czech Republic on 5th place right now. Let's see if we can have this transition from run to swim. I'm really excited to see this.
This is a completely different race to what Marta Mendito went through in the Worlds. Well, she described that as the hardest and longest race. But look at this. You've gone from the hardest, longest race last year to the shortest, toughest race. This is the short track in Europe. It really has a wonderful tradition.
Okay, here we enter the bike park, and they're running along the bike park right now. So Alice is on the first position. 3 to 4 seconds back is Solène. And let's see now Marta and Loanne, if they are together already, and how far back.
Yeah, because now, putting the goggles on
Okay.
and entering the water.
Together,
Oh, look at that, yes.
but they still on the same distance to Solana.
Yep. So the trouble when you put your goggles on now is...
There we see a move.
Is this Kingsland? Kingsland?
Yes, but Solène was overtaking
On the climb.
Marta. And we just see Samantha Kingsford running with the swim cap and the goggles.
Yeah. The athletes were asking where they could start putting their swim caps on, and the organisers got together to ensure that they had a clearly marked area.
Okay.
Hoping that the camera can pick that up, because there you see one of the athletes there just
yeah,
as they leave the shadow.
Yes, Solène starting to put her swimming cap on.
To
Maybe
do that
if
while
we're
you're running.
lucky enough to start seeing the transition area.
And they're together again. So
Yes.
that acceleration we saw has now changed. So here we go. This is going to be into the water once more.
So Alice and Loanne, Alice and Solène already with the swim cap and the goggles on, but still with the running shoes, and they are now going to start the second swim.
Goodness gracious, this is really... I would love to see the heart rates for these athletes, just to see what sort of stress they're putting their bodies under. So into the water, the first one is Alice Patiez, followed by Solène.
Okay, now I'm counting how far are actually Mendito and Duvoisin. That is 15 seconds on my watch.
10. 15? 15 seconds
on my watch. The interesting point here we'll see now. Yes, will be if Alice and Solène can start racing together, and they can push each other and follow a nice line on the bike, a nice pace on the run. Otherwise, Duvoisin and Marta are going to push themselves and actually catch them.
And also, Kingsland was faster in the water in the first leg, so she's going to be pushing hard to try and catch up with them. They know from the positions that they came out of the water what threat she presents, and so the pressure is on them even more. They know that they've got the advantage on the bike, but they know they've got that disadvantage in the water. Now, what we need to look at as well is for the other athletes who are coming into T1, how far behind they are. And whether they're going to face the cutoff. I think with the women's race, there's a far wider spread of skill and ability and ages than we have in the men's race. In the men's race, we don't have many of the younger athletes. But I think our youngest athlete here today is Katja Kren, born in 2003. Wonderful to see her entering the race in the sort of, it's like a wild card almost, where the organisers have decided to bring in some very good young talent, so they have an opportunity to race with the elite and the top-ranked athletes.
Yes, it's always really nice to motivate young athletes to start racing somehow against the pros, so they can have an idea of how much they have to train and for how long they have to train to, at some point, be able to catch up with them.
It also changes the dynamic of the race, doesn't it?
It does. First of all, because they are young and inexperienced, but they have a lot of,
a lot of energy.
So they will be like little wasps in between the field. That pisses off a little bit the pros.
Well, if we look back to what happened in Transylvania, we had these two young Belgian lads, the De Smet brothers, and they came into the elite race as under-23 athletes. And in fact, I think it was Mathieu, one of the De Smets, I can't remember which one it was, won the race, took the elite title and the under-23 title. He was so strong, and it was bringing an element into that elite race that really did completely change the result. And you're right.
Okay, so that's going to be interesting now to see if Samantha is able to go up some positions and be actually with Duvoisin and Mendito, or even pass them, overtake
now, I
them.
think, is this... Biloin, has she pulled away from Alizé Patiez?
No, I think that's still Alizé on the front. So somebody is still pushing and putting a gap again. And then it seems like there is a small group forming on the back. Alizé. Actually, Alizé is the first one again on the water. Let's see some splits of the second lap of the swim.
Oh, this is going to be Kingsland coming out. Yep. Kingsland has got built some pace there. She's now up with...
Okay, Samantha and Loanne is now, and Marta is also 20 seconds back. So they lost a little bit.
But Kingsland did extremely well there.
I could not see who is actually now on third place. Okay, so even though there was like almost a 10 seconds gap, wait. No, we say Alizé now. Oh my God, this is so hectic. I cannot even control.
But Mendito has got through transition quicker once again than Duvoisin.
Yes.
So being in front as you leave this section, again, Kingsland struggling with the shoes. He had that same problem in the first leg.
Yes, they have to put the shoes outside of the bike, not on the bike. I don't know why they try to do road transitions, road triathlon transitions. It doesn't work here.
Well, some of the athletes were saying they prefer to take the risk, and others said they prefer not to. But I think if you come out of transition and your shoes are on there and you spin the shoe, it falls off.
Yes.
Then you're losing so much time.
Look,
that's it. Making sure the shoes are really tight. That you see that way. Karina Vassler, she knows she's not going to take any risk. She's spending a bit more time in transition, but she's going to use that time to make sure that everything is ready for when she pushes.
Okay, let's try to see now. We know that Alizé is leading, but we don't know who's in second and third position.
We know
because
that
somebody...
Well, Bilouin was there, but I think as well Kingsland, but I'm not sure. I think Kingsland just had the edge as they were coming out.
So Alizé is first, right?
This is Mendito now coming around that open section, and she has... Oh.
No, that's Loanne now on second place. So, Solène, sorry. And
this is Duvoisin. Duvoisin has pulled...
and
she's pulled away from Kingsland.
Okay, we start to see now the first laps, or well, the first disqualifications, non-finished.
The way that this works, they're not. I don't think they're DQ'd. I think what they've done is they're effectively lapped. They're taken out of the race, but their rankings will still be calculated. There's a very complicated system of calculations.
They put they lining them now to see the position.
Yeah.
Because they're actually not disqualified, so they still have the points for the rank.
Yeah. All of the athletes received a very detailed letter explaining to them how this process would work. So it shouldn't be a surprise for them. And interestingly enough, they will now go into the long course tomorrow.
Loanne is now in the bike park. Let's see who's in third. That's Duvoisin.
Duvoisin and Kingsland. So Duvoisin has overtaken Kingsland.
Duvoisin is third.
Samantha Kingsford.
And Kingsford is in fourth. And what is Marta? Ooh. Is Marta in between them, or she got dropped, she did a mistake?
Well, for Kingsford, having been locked down in the Southern Hemisphere for so long, this is a great opportunity to come back. XTERRA Portugal, she was second there in the elite. That was start of May, no, the end of May. So not having had...
Okay, so we're starting the second lap now on the bike. If we can have the splits on the bike, please. Okay, that's Duvoisin. Kingsford in fourth place. What is Marta? What happened to Marta?
Well, that's interesting. There's a bit of... she's been dropped.
I don't know.
So Patier and Billois are still, we think, 1 and 2.
Can we have the bike splits for the second lap of the bike? Let's check where is now Marta and who is actually third and
that is a
fourth.
tremendous lead that the two French women have built.
This is some challenge work for me and you, huh? It's really difficult to follow.
The beauty of the forest is you've got so much shade and brightness and shade, but it does make it rather difficult. And imagine the Karel out in the woods trying to take some pictures. He's going to have to choose his moments so well. And we'll see the product afterwards, and we know that the pictures will come out and they'll be great. But it's very difficult for the camera team in the forest to pick out. We've got mobile robot cameras in there. Oh, they're pushing up the hill there. Now
Samantha is pushing. Well, Loanne was struggling to go up to that small hill, and I think Samantha took the decision of dismounting and push. But it's so dark, the trees are so dense that it's really, really difficult to see what's happening there.
So this is where the athletes will be racing and racking their bikes tomorrow. This is the long course transition area. It's huge, and I love the racking. Everybody can really see where their position is.
Okay, there we are.
Here we go.
So, on the second lap of the mountain bike, we had Alizé, Loanne, Loanne,
and then
Samantha,
Kingsford.
and I didn't have time to read more. But we have the top four.
So into the bike part now, and
that's Alizé.
Yep.
Really, really smooth.
She really has put that ghost to bed. The crash she had there yesterday didn't end up with her losing any skin or breaking anything, but it must have affected her confidence. Roger, when you've been out and you've ridden a course and you've come off the bike in your bike familiarization, what impact does that have on you? Do you put it in a box and forget about it, or do you then look at the line and then reevaluate the line for the next time you come into that position?
I think we all try to do this when we do the the bike record, but the problem is when you're racing at this speed and with this high intensity.
Do you really have the time to think, or is it all done by natural feeling?
No. I think it's really difficult to follow the same line lap after lap. You have to be very skilled and have been riding this lap for many times.
Duvoisin has really pulled some distance out of Kingsford, but Kingsford in the water.
Okay, so we have Alizé now.
Oh, look at this.
Ready for the second run. And we're going to see how far is Loanne on the run start. Okay, there we are.
I've got 12 seconds there.
It looks like she's putting some more time.
Oh,
Loanne
what a
is really
performance.
close now, huh?
Oh, this is really, really good for her.
That's less than 5 seconds, one to another. And she's being quite fast on the transition. So that's 17 seconds and 2 seconds more for Loanne.
She's now finished her studies. She's a qualified physiotherapist, studied physiotherapy as an undergraduate. She's now finished those studies, so she's got much more time to really draw together all of her training wants. And it really looks like it's paying off, because that performance she's made on that second leg has brought her right back into contention.
So it looks like Loanne is now starting to push after the first half of the race. That is 1.5 triathlons. And we will see if she's able to push all the way through Alizé.
Yes, I think if you look at what she's done over the past years and the way that she's raced, the potential that she has here, and she's timed her attack really well. But Kingsland is following. Oh no!
No,
that's Buildup. She's
Loanne.
overtaken.
Yes.
Oof. And not only has she overtaken, she's gradually edging forwards.
There we go.
So there's a 20-second gap. Kingsford is now 20 seconds behind the top three. Now, there's quite a bit of prize money, we know, for the athletes. They're racing for points. They're racing for the privilege of taking this.
They're racing today for 5K, but we know that this year, with all the 4 races, they're going to have a 20K tour prize money. Okay, Loanne is eventually pushing hard and hard, and we will see if she's cutting time on Alizé, because Solange is getting dropped a little bit.
Oh, yes. For the top 5, there's €5,000 at up for grabs. 900 to the winner, 700 to the second place, 500, 250, and then 150. So there's quite a bit of cash. And there's also, if you race this, then you're entitled to the prize money in the long course as well. So there's everything to induce you to do this short track.
Yes, it is. Of course, every year we're trying to make it a little bit more attractive and trying to switch, you know, the power of the long distance XTERRA to the short track, trying to balance it a little bit between both, and making athletes realize that we really need this kind of shows, no, to attract more people into the sport and more sponsors. And so far, from my point of view, this is hectic. I mean, there's so many things happening, so many athletes going up and down, and so many seconds to count, so many switch positions.
Oh, anything can happen.
Okay, so we have Alizé still running in the front. We know that Loanne at the start of the run was 20 seconds back, and she just cut 10 seconds in 600 meters on the run. So, or either Alizé now is starting to struggle a little bit, or Loanne is really pushing the pedal down to the ground.
Buildup is still in third place, having edged away now further and further from Kingsford.
But Solange is on third place.
Solange, yeah,
Loanne is second.
Yeah, and Solange Buildup is in third, having edged away from Kingsford. But we know that Loanne Duvoisin in the water is able to hold that position. On the bike is very strong.
Now we see Chun doing
Look at the atmosphere there. Now we know that there's about 200 or 300 people there dotted around the course. We estimate there's something like 2,000 to 5,000 were the comments we heard from the organisers. For the kids race earlier on today, for the kids and the mini kids, it was absolutely packed.
There were a lot of people eventually. There were a lot of people.
It's amazing. We had the swim run championships here. Okay, Marta Mendito making her way around that twisting, turning, rising, wonderful bike park. I think the guys who constructed this are taking this construction with them to Molveno for the World Championships.
Maybe. Okay. Now, we see Alizé again, taking off her shoes with the swim cap and the goggles, ready to start the swim.
Duvoisin is about 3-4 seconds behind her. Shoes off very quickly there.
We will see now what Loanne is able to do on the swim. And I'm going to be very, very interested on to know what was Loanne planning for the race. If she was planning actually this to go like faster and faster in every small triathlon, or it's actually Alizé that went too fast in the beginning and now she's paying the price.
Well, what would be interesting as well is to hear from them afterwards how their arms felt. Were they able to get the breathing rhythm correct? When you've been pushing yourself so hard to then get your body to not only coordinate itself to get the arm strokes right, but then the breathing. When you're fighting for breath, and you're then denying your body breath by being in the water like this, I think the men will be looking at this very carefully to see where the strengths and weaknesses have appeared. And I know from some of them that they were going to attack on the second of the triathlon legs. So this is going to be very interesting to see. I'm sure the elite men are down there all watching to see where they can make a little an improvement,
so
where they can get the advantage.
We have the times. So Alizé was still leading at the beginning of the swim. Loanne only 7 seconds back. So she actually cut 13 seconds on 1 kilometer run. This means that either one of them is starting to blow up or the other one is starting to push.
I remember many years ago out at La Santa, we had a similar thing where they had us swimming in the pool, running around the pool, getting back in the pool, swimming around the pool. And that mixture of swim, run, swim, run, swim, run, it was horrible. It made your lungs really ragged. But this is made even worse by the bike course, which is such an incredibly tough bike course.
I think we're going to see some athletes being stopped again at the end of this swim. And eventually it will be interesting to see how many athletes are finishing.
Do you think that the athletes who were taken out earlier, that was a tactical decision on their part, or do you think... I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think you have to be really cold to not try to push in a race like this, that it's so attractive. I would not save any energy on a race like this, especially because I would be keen to have some points and to accumulate some prize money, because everything at the end of the year sums up. So.
But it's as we said, the difference in ability with the women's race, with such a wide range of ages, I think it's more evident here. The strength of the faster ones and the opportunity of the younger ones to develop into that. So that's probably played into this. But you see, that's Duvoisin. No, it's not. It's
no, Alizé is still in the front.
Still in the lead,
she has longer arms. Duvoisin is Loanne is really really close. I mean, maybe because of the angle of the camera, it appears to be like really close. But we will see it in less than 20 seconds. And it will be interesting to see who's starting to push the pedal first. Huh?
Yes.
This transition is going to be...
And the thing is, Kingsford, is she going to use her swim power to try and edge up and to hopefully be in a position to chase for the podium, the one last place on the podium? Is she going to be a threat to...
Solène.
So Patier.
I'm not
Patier.
sure.
Sorry.
So Patier's...
A glance over her shoulder just to see how her lead is.
Okay, so it looks like she could hold the gap on the swim, even do like 2 or 3 seconds more gap.
That's 10 seconds on the clock, isn't it?
That's 10 seconds. Solène is going to be a little bit more back. And I believe that's Samantha. Okay, that's the exit of the swim bike transition. And then we're going to see now
about
the splits.
30 seconds there at least.
Okay.
Yeah, so Duvoisin is mounting the bike. Just getting the shoes correct. Oh, and a bit of a slip there.
That's what we were talking about before. Look, this is small mistake. Look at the speed of Loanne and how fast she closed like 10 meters.
Because that section there, if you can get the speed on that section, it will take you through and up the hill, won't it?
You go from 8 kilometers an hour trying to put the shoes on to 15 to 20 kilometers an hour because you're already on the speed.
If you don't have that speed entering the trees, then you won't make up the hill.
Maybe Alizé did a really, really big mistake here that probably can cause the win today, yeah?
It could do, yes. Because Duvoisin will have seen that, and let's not beat her about the bush here. She will see that as a vulnerability, and she will attack.
They're really, really, really close now. Okay, look at that. And she keeps riding.
Duvoisin stays on the bike.
So out of T2, Duvoisin was 9 seconds behind Alizé, and we just seen them riding together.
Look
so
at
that small mistake,
9
like
seconds.
not being able to clip the shoe, it's almost 9 seconds.
And that really is going to be built upon.
Karina Vassel starting this bike
I think that was
section
Karina
now.
Vassel they're going
Yes.
through. And Jindriska. Zemanova,
Jindiska
sorry.
or Emenova. But yes, looks really fun to race these, huh? Funny thing is that actually Alizé has been leading the race since the first bike kilometer, and positions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 have been constantly changing. Okay, let's see if we can have. Okay, so they riding together, huh? You see what a small mistake can do, from having a 9 seconds gap to nothing, knowing that the girl, the woman behind you actually took you 15 seconds on 1 kilometer of running.
And there she is, right on her tail. Now, there's no real position to overtake here. As they come around the final part of the bike park and then leave and head down towards the transition area, there's a section there where an overtake could take place. But the next opportunity will be as they go through transition and leave that wide section where Alizé had the problem. This section here.
We're going to see. I think we're going to see the guys trying to overtake each other on the bike park. That's for sure.
Oh,
yes.
It's going to be exciting then. So here they come down. This section as they go down to transition. As they then do the U-turn, come through transition.
Let's see if we can stay inside the transition to see this, because this is definitely going to be okay. So Loanne is first. Huh? She overtook.
She's ahead
Alizé.
already.
Yes.
She's done it. She's moved it into the lead.
No, sorry, we still have one more lap to go, huh? Before the transition.
Loanne is still in that third place.
No, Loanne is leading now the race with Alizé. Solène is third.
Oh, yeah.
That's Solène exiting.
Solène Loanne.
Yeah. Yes, exiting transition.
So she's still in third with Loanne Duvoisin leading the race.
That's
this
Samantha.
is Kingsford. Again, all of these turns, they look quite okay when you walk the course, but then when you're entering at speed, then it's a really difficult one. Okay. So she's edged to the front now. This is Loanne Duvoisin from Switzerland, ranked number 2.
Looks like Loanne is making a move.
Yep, there she is. She's pushing.
Because I don't think Alizé has ever ridden this section, but she's now
she's
really
actually
pushing.
rode up this.
Yeah.
Patier has ridden that one.
Yes. And Solène, I don't know, I have a feeling that now
close.
she's pushing.
Yeah, she's close.
Like, that's not even 10 seconds.
She's built up. Oh, well done for her.
Okay, so it looks like she cut around 7 seconds during the first lap, huh?
This is good riding from her.
Loanne really pushing.
This is a fast section. If they take the line that's been ridden before, it's quite fast.
And
oh yes.
Solène looks like she recovered a little bit from the second lap, or maybe it was just her her tactic. You know, get a little bit of a good position on the first triathlon, second one, slow down a little bit and start pushing on the third.
I think that's failing.
17 seconds still.
But she's pulled right away there from Kingsford from New Zealand.
Yes. I think Kingsford now is just
well, there's still
maintaining.
There's good money for her and points.
Yes. But she will just try to maintain the position, try to save as much energy as possible.
Well, the threat behind her, she knows that Mendito is fast. Oh, you see, yes. But Duvoisin, she's not managed to shake off the challenge. Wait, oh, look how close they are.
They are, and I have a feeling Alizé tried to do something a little bit dangerous there, overtaking.
Well, I think she's reminding Loanne that it's not going to be an easy race to the line.
No.
Now, we know that the crowds are moving. We can hear behind us the crowds are moving down to the finish area where Chun is going to be whipping them up into a frenzy. He's so good at this. He really gets the atmosphere going. And we know that when the athletes have completed their final run of 1.1K, they're going to hit a wall of sound as they come into the very tight finish area, which again has been specially constructed.
Here they are.
That's it.
Really, we see Chun running super fast, and Loanne and Alizé right now entering transition, and this is going to be very nice to see. If we can stay in the transition area, okay.
There she goes,
Really
racking the
nice.
bike.
Loanne, a little bit of wheel touching.
Struggling there. What's going on?
Let's see,
Helmet
let's see.
off,
This
shoes
is really,
on.
really nice. Okay, Alizé was super fast there. Alizé is going to start running first, I think. They both together off the
Look
run.
at that.
Loanne just did a small sprint.
Closing
and here
down.
they are.
There she did. She just closed down the exit nicely by taking the line to the exit. Loanne Duvoisin there. Angers will be very happy with her position there in third place. But no, it's not over yet. This is going to be a real battle between the two as they make their way up. This is a flat section, but then it's a really snappy climb. There are roots there. There's some small stones. There's the possibility of slipping.
Let's see now the camera in the forest. If Loanne is already putting a little bit of a gap.
Oh, the noise
Alizé.
coming through is fantastic. There they go.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
Okay, Loanne. Okay, she already starts to put 1.5 seconds to Alizé. And I think this is going to keep increasing until
yeah,
the
she's
finish line.
gradually putting the pressure on.
Yes.
Oh,
So Loanne is gone, huh? Loanne is gone, and she has done a really, really smart race.
and Loanne Duvoisin there, she's third place. She's seen where they've gone. She knows exactly what her position is. She knows exactly what she needs to do to keep that third place on the podium.
Yes, she has
I
to
think
stay
she has
there.
to accept that second or first is not going to be hers today.
No. No, and also not fourth. I mean, Samantha is a little bit far.
There
So
she is.
they'll try. No, that was a guy warming up. That's Alizé running on second. Let's see if we can see Loanne.
Loanne Duvoisin, she's pulled way ahead now.
Yes. So it looks like that we had quite an okay guess with our top 3 favorites for the day.
Yeah, we weren't far off that.
I mean, we picked these 3 girls, right? We picked Loanne, we picked Alizé, and Solène, and it looks like Loanne is going to take the win today.
But it could have been so different. One tiny mistake in transition. We saw that how Alizé lost so much place, so much
Momentum,
position,
yeah, momentum, speed.
leaving transition. Yes.
Yes, because she could not cleat that shoe properly, and this also affects your performance, right? When you know that the person behind you is a better runner and you want to put a little bit more of space on your last chance, no, on the bike split, and then you do that small mistake, and then she catches up on you.
Well, here we see Duvoisin looking very, very comfortable. She knows it's her race now.
I think what she has to do now is try to control
Twist,
this gap,
turn.
stop sprinting.
Yeah. It's this spiral effect is visually wonderful to look at. But when you get the athletes on the bikes riding around it, as we saw the kids earlier today, it was like a constant circle of athletes. It was incredible to watch.
Indeed.
And there we see Alizé Patiers just holding on there. As they come off the top of this, there's another short descent, and then they climb another small bridge to take them into the... It's like
woods.
a U-turn that takes them
Yes.
straight down to the finish area. And the atmosphere down there is just absolutely amazing. Okay.
Well, it has been really interesting, huh?
Oh.
We always hope for that sprint finish, you know? Like,
We do.
but I think we have Loanne coming straight to the finish line, taking the win on this first XTERRA Short Track here in France. Really well done. Really
Xonrupt
smart.
Xonrupt has been fantastic, and it's going to be a fantastic race to the line. She's glorying in the moment there. Look at that. Ranked number 2 in the world. She's number 1 here in France.
Very good. Very well done. Very, very good. And Alizé just like 5 seconds behind her.
That's a very good silver medal position for her as well.
Very well done too. Very exciting race. Very exciting.
I think trying to get a post-race interview is going to have to wait for a little bit longer than normal, because these athletes have given everything on such a short
need a
track.
couple of minutes.
Third place goes to France, Loanne Duvoisin. There she is. She held off that last attack there from the Kiwi Kingsford.
Very well done for her too. And once we have a little bit of information, we're gonna listen the words to the winner from today. Once we get, hopefully,
there, all the way from New Zealand. There
Samantha,
we have. Yep.
4th place for Samantha. Not really far.
Well, her journey into international racing started back in 2012 when she was racing as an age grouper, and that was at the Barfoot and Thompson World Triathlon Grand Final in Auckland. Took a gold medal as a 20 to 24-year-old athlete in the sprint, and look at her now. There she is, racing with the world's best on XTERRA.
So we have the final split for the top 4 women, and only 15 seconds, huh? Only 15 seconds. The win from the 2nd place. That's nothing.
It would be interesting to see how many of our athletes have managed to avoid the eliminator.
We will see. I think, look, I don't know. It depends on everybody's strategy.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think we need to speak to the elite men after this, just to see how many of the elite men decided to watch the women's race and to see what they could learn from that women's race about positions to attack, about the lines to take. We know that a couple are going to really put the hammers down on the 2nd of the triathlon. We're not going to say who, because that would give it away. But I think some of them may revise their race plans. Some of them are going to strengthen them. But we saw that the real power did come on in that 2nd leg, didn't it?
I think it's time to giving the word to Chun. Am I right? Is Chun going to go to the interview soon?
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the winner of this 1st edition of XTERRA France Short Track 2022. I'm going to ask you the questions in French and I'll do the translation immediately after. Alors Loanne, quelle fantastique course, et un rythme effréné. Et puis bon, tu t'es retrouvé dans la position de devoir chasser et de rattraper Alizé et Solène qui ont fait une course absolument merveilleuse.
Oui, elles ont fait une super course et c'est vrai que c'était cool de partir de l'arrière et puis essayer de les rattraper, même si c'était pas facile. Mais oui, je suis contente de la course d'aujourd'hui.
She's really happy about today's race and it was not easy to play the catch-up game, but then, again, the result is here. Alors, Loanne, est-ce qu'à un moment, tu as quand même douté en disant jamais j'arriverai à la rattraper?
Ouais, je vous avoue qu'on replonge dans l'eau, on se sent plus rien du tout. Mais ouais, après, je savais que c'était aussi dur pour tout le monde. Donc, je me suis dit, si c'est dur pour les autres, eh ben, faut s'accrocher.
So when she's diving back into the water, it's really hard to continue to have hope to catch Alizé. But then she was telling herself that if it's hard for her, it's probably hard for everybody. And so she was able, in the end, to catch Alizé at the end. Bon alors, ton sentiment sur ce type de format, le short track?
C'est super dur. Non, mais c'est vraiment super fun. Et puis, ouais, c'est cool d'avoir tout le public autour pour nous encourager. Donc, je pense que c'est super chouette d'avoir ces short tracks.
Short track is super hard, but it's also super fun. Also to have all the spectators around to cheer. Super. Merci beaucoup, Loanne. En tout cas, on espère que tu continueras un aussi beau début de saison que ça. Quelle est la suite pour toi?
Demain?
Oui, c'est vrai. Merci, Loanne, et félicitations. Loanne Duvoisin, really happy about her win here, and then the program for her, it's tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Are we working? Yes, we are. Chun, thank you very much. Fantastic interview there. You saw how delighted she was with her finish and how intense it was. We've just been given some of the provisional results. My goodness, when you look at some of the swim splits,
we need to study this because there are a lot of transitions and a lot of partials here. Huh?
Yeah, well, we don't have the full results, so they've only given us the printout for everybody now that the first three have finished. So we're still waiting, hopefully, for the rest of the athletes to come through.
What we know is Loanne won with a time of 46 minutes and 10 seconds. Total time to complete 3 triathlons, 200 meter swim, 2.2 kilometers on the bike, and 1.1 kilometer on the run.
Times 3.
Times 3. Alizé was second with a time of 46 minutes, 25 seconds, only 15 seconds behind her. And third was Loanne with a time of 46 minutes, 52 seconds. So everybody, like the top 3, were together in less than 40 seconds.
Yeah, and that's a really, really good demonstration of how close the top end of our XTERRA elite are. If you go to the XTERRA rankings, that's on the XTERRA website, and you pick out those top athletes, it's pretty much the case that we've got these athletes here finishing almost in the order we expected them to. Sam Kingsford there, she really did push on the swims. And yeah, 3:03 for her first swim, 3:20 for her second, and 3:26 for her third. So not an awful lot of difference when you think about what the body has been going through.
Yes, the only big difference I see here is with the first swim and the rest of the swims. But eventually the bike splits and the run splits are quite equal. We see Loanne run really fast on the last 1 kilometer, but Alizé did 2 minutes to men. Okay, so I think if I heard correctly, in 2 minutes we're gonna start the men's pre-show.
Okay,
All
I
right.
think, yeah, that's going to be quite a big one as well. Well, we've got 26 athletes racing. And if you just give me a couple of seconds, I'll try and do some adding up and some taking away and work out how many nationalities we've got. So, Roger, I'll just give you a bit more of a chance to go through and analyze some of these times, and I'll do some scribbling here on the side.
Perfect. So I think the men's are gonna learn a little bit from what just happened on the girls, especially following Loanne tactic. And we're not gonna see this busy bees in the beginning swimming like madmen. For sure, I put my hand on fire that Xonrupt is gonna try to swim as fast as possible in the first swim, followed by Sam Osborne. But then we will see if they really like push from the beginning or they wait a little bit on the second part of the race. And then we are in 30 seconds. We're gonna start
30 seconds.
with the men's pre-race because we're jumping from one to the other. Huh?
I might have been down, not out. It's on sight, you gon' figure that out. And I might have been down, not out. Only one thing I gotta know now is, are you ready for the comeback? You know we don't want that. Let me see them hands up all the way front back. Yeah, it's the comeback. Are you ready for the comeback?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to France, welcome to Xonrupt, and welcome to the short track. And this time, it's the turn of the men to hurt. And my goodness, we know they're going to hurt. My name's Paul Groves. I'd like to welcome you to Roger Serrano, who knows a lot more about the pain that you can experience out here than I do. Roger.
Not exactly the same pain because I never raced short track this intense. It's a new format, and but I definitely know a little bit who's racing there. And I've been chatting with them a little bit about their feelings about this new short track project that is taking place in this beautiful place. We have 24 degrees Celsius on outside temperature, which is okay to race, plus all the forest sections that are really, really chill.
Yeah, the wind has dropped quite a bit, and it means that it's quite hot. So going into the woods, into the forest, does give you an awful lot of shelter, and that's going to be most welcome for them. We've seen the women's race, we saw how exciting that was, and we are expecting the men to have looked very carefully at the way that the women raced, and very carefully at the position in the swim, bike, run, swim, bike, run, swim, bike, run, that they make their attack. We've heard from some athletes that their intention is to attack on the middle section, This is our start list. We've got athletes from France, Spain, Belgium, New Zealand, Denmark, Greece, Germany, Portugal, Italy, Australia, Switzerland, and from Ireland.
We have very good swimmers, we have really good mountain bikers, and we have really fast runners. And also we have a couple of folks that are specialized on ITU, so that means that they have really fast transitions.
We've got a very, very late entrant here, Crillon Le Bien.
The Irish guy, right?
No. Crillon, his performance only a short while ago in Transylvania, when he raced on the Transylvania Ring. It's a motor circuit, and he took the world title there for the 10:45. Well, he's going to be mixing it with Arthur Serrier, our one of the race favourites.
One of the race favourites.
There's an argument here. There's always a king on the chair called Arthur. We have Arthur Forissier, also from France.
And funny thing, his brother.
And we have Felix.
Felix.
So it's the French domination on off-road events. In fact, when it came to the World Championships, the 3 Frenchmen were on the podium.
Exactly.
And that was pretty impressive. They actually sang the Marseillaise slightly quicker than the song, than the music. But the passion is there. And we've seen it again and again, that the French have produced some power.
Okay, do we have interviews this time?
We got an interview, yeah.
I like it, and I'm really happy that XTERRA bring a format like this. Quick swim, quick bike, quick run, everything on the stage, that nobody has to go into the forest or far away from the venue. I think it will be a big show with the short track event, and I'm really looking forward. We have to keep power for the day after the short track event, for sure. But it's a big chance for us athletes and for XTERRA as well to bring this format to you guys on the TV.
Oh, I think it's going to be super tough, and yeah, I can't wait for this experience. I reckon it's going to be massive. The crowd's going to get round it, especially being that short, multiple lap format, and heaps of jumps and technical aspects. It's just going to be fun out there. Going to have to take a few risks you probably wouldn't usually take in a standard format, longer race. It's going to, every second's going to count for this, and yeah, being up against the world's best XTERRA athletes is such an amazing opportunity. Coming all the way from Oz, like we don't really have much of that over here, and being over here in amongst that atmosphere, it's unreal.
That was Tom Fisher all the way from Australia, and it's great to have, he's had the opportunity to move his way up here, and Australia and New Zealand have been closed down for so long. We've heard from athletes on the circuit that they really do miss the opportunity to race, but now breaking back into Europe and using the circuit that's available in Europe for all of the fantastic off-road races that are available. And we're going to move to Chun, who's going to tell us a bit more about the course. Over to you, Chun.
Hi guys, we truly have an amazing course for the short track. Let me give you a quick preview. The swim will start right behind me in the beautiful Lac de Longemer. 200 meters, round 2 buoys, and head out for transition, and then for the bike. After a fast and furious start, the athletes reach this beautiful wooded section where they will test their technical skills. As soon as the athlete crossed the Victoria Bridge, they enter what XTERRA France is famous for, the bike park. A series of man-made jumps, turns, bumps and ramps that makes it exciting for the spectators and the athletes. At the end of the bike, the athletes will take on the exact same course for the run. This is where the race ends, under the famous XTERRA France arch, with a whole lot of spectators cheering for this incredible show. So, who do you think will be winning? Looking forward to it. Good luck, everybody. You think this is loud? Wait for the short track.
Well, that was an introduction to the course, and we're going to hear a little bit more about the course by seeing the maps. Roger, over to you.
Okay, there we go again. So we have one loop of 200 meters anti-clockwise with 2 left turns on the buoys. I really want to see how they get into the first buoy. Then we have 2 laps of 1.1 kilometer on the bike, including the amazing bike park that we've seen the girls just racing now. and they're gonna do this twice. These on the girls took about 6.5 minutes to complete the 2 laps before they started the run again. The run is gonna take place in the same lap, and it's gonna be a 1.1 kilometer. Goal splits between 4:30 and 5 minutes per lap. I will say something around 4:10 minutes for the boys.
Well, on that swim, I'm reckoning we'll be seeing times probably closer to 2 minutes. Maxime Chanet, I'm looking at him being one of the leaders in the water. We know that we've got a very, very strong Danish athlete there, and that swimming is not particularly his favourite.
German.
Sorry, Jens
Jens
Sloth.
Roth.
In the water, he said he's not the best, but his biking and running is absolutely outstanding. I had the privilege of seeing him race last year in Molveno. It was just incredible to watch.
And he's young. He's a young folk. He needs some time to settle the trainings, to get some experience, to get into the field, and to know how to fight and suffer in this kind of races and distances. My bet is that Jens is going to be the first one taking the lead, and we will see him kicking his feet super fast.
How about Sam Osborne from New Zealand?
I think Sam Osborne is just going to try to go on his feet. He used to do that with me, and I think he's never changed. Sending you a big hug, man.
In fact, I think he actually mentions you in one of his comments. How he lost a shoe or something, and he remembers racing against you. But also a big shout out to Sam, who managed to transit through the USA, and he can confirm that no cavities were violated during his stay in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Watch his social media feed. Okay. Anyway, the athletes are there. They're under starters' orders. As you can see, it's a deep water start, and there's a wonderfully old-fashioned piece of tape that will simply be raised. It's going to be a challenging swim. These men are going to be a lot closer to each other, we think, than the women were. There's
we don't know that.
Well, the age group, the age range is not as much, and we expect that at the front end of this race, there's going to be some really, really close contact as they go around those buoys.
Look, the only thing I want is that nobody gets injured, nobody tries to do a stupid overtake and have an injury for the following weeks.
No, because don't forget, tomorrow they'll be racing the long course. The athletes racing today for the short track, they can race today for the money, and then they can race tomorrow for the money. If they don't race today, they don't get a chance for the money tomorrow. So here we are,
so
getting closer, and
they're off.
Oh.
The guys are off.
Now, the organisers spent a lot of time yesterday picking out the larger, sharper rocks to make it safe for the athletes. That was a lot of hard work. They've made it safer for them. And here they go, heading off now to that first turn. And we should expect to see Maxime Chanet. Maxime Chanet from France. What number is he wearing? He's wearing number 5.
I think Jens Roth is going to be by far the fastest swimmer. And I think I can actually see him on the left side. He's probably going to take the first left turn. I mean, he's a really fast, he's a swimmer himself.
And he's just finished an Ironman race. Where was that? It was only a very short while ago. I think he did a 70.3 somewhere.
Maybe, yes.
So when he did he raced in Lake Garda, and he said, happy to be back on stage among the top 5 yesterday. After the fastest swim, I was able to keep up the pace with Maxime Chanet. So on the swim, he went from the swim to the bike with Maxime.
So I can see really Jens being the first one. And
I think
look
at that stroke.
Maybe Rui Dolores second with that green Portuguese suit, or the Irish guy.
Do you mean Kieran Jackson?
Kieran maybe, huh? Kieran maybe is following Jens' feet.
Now, we had a lot of difficulty with the women's race because the sun and the shadow together make it very difficult for us to pick the athletes out as they come out of the water and then head off on the bike. So bear with us. We'll give you as many splits as we can from the timing guys. They've been really good so far putting up the graphics, which has helped us and helped you. I hope you're following this back home. You can also, if you follow onto the XTERRA page, there's also some links to the timing. I think, is that link working? It was working for the for the kids, but never mind. Have a look on the page for XTERRA, and if we can, we will interact with you and see what we can come up with from your
we're
comments.
very close to see the first guys going out of the water. So they're a bit on the right side, covered by some trees. So Jens is definitely there. Who's this second guy with the green suit?
Well, where is Arthur Serrier? He's not there. He's not. Is this?
This is the Greek guy.
This is Bitados,
Bitados
Panagiotis,
on third position,
one of the
and then
younger
we see.
athletes.
I think I can see Maxime Chanet on the top 5. So that's Jens Roth. Michele Bonacera is the second guy.
Oh, look at that! So
And
Italy
he's a
now
really
featuring
strong
in the
biker.
lead.
Huh? Then who we have in third position? Maxime Chanet on third. No, Maxime Chanet was not third. Cannot see a lot
So
the colors.
Spinazzi was out well.
So
I heard that. That
Jens
was,
Roth really quick transition.
you see, they're struggling to get their shoes in.
Okay, there we have
Roth, Panagina, Panagiotis. Oh, look at that! And François V from Portugal.
François V, Spinazzi, Maxime Chanet in 12 seconds.
Look at that! Oh, now François V, the young Portuguese athlete. That's a good performance from him so far, into that position. But Panagiotis Bitados, he's been altitude training up in Samoritz, and has been really taking the benefit there. His performance so far: second place XTERRA Portugal, first place XTERRA Greece, last year and this year.
So we remember the top 5 guys, huh? Jens Roth, Michele Bonacina, Bitados, and Maxime. And here they are, getting close one to each other. But it really looks like that Michele Bonacina already put some space in between him and his followers.
I would be saying look out for François V from Portugal here. Gold medal in the under-23s at the World Championships in Transylvania. A gold medal in 2021 Extremadura. So he's been picking out these gold medals. Also in the Dolomiti Paganella XTERRA race last year. So he's got a selection of these gold medals that really show he's got potential. And here he is racing, and at the top end after the swim.
We still have to remember that the strongest guys are a little bit on the back of the swim. The both Arturs.
Oh, yes.
Artur Serri, Artur Forestier, Felix, Ruben. And so really like the best runners and mountain bikers are still on the back. We don't see their splits then.
And this is very much a mountain biker's course. Without a doubt, if you're not a strong mountain biker here, you're not really going to be featuring in the medals. Look how frantic it is. The guys who constructed this, they've made such a great use of such a small area. They've focused on the intensity. And
so
for spectators,
Artur Serreyes
he's there.
just passed, and Ruben Ruzafa is just behind him.
Sloth Nielsen was there.
And Carloni also there.
Now, Carloni, that's an interesting add to the mix. He's not one of the youngest athletes. In fact, he's one of the older ones.
Yes.
But over the years, he's been so consistent.
There we see Jens Roth in the first place. I cannot see the color of the people.
So
François
lap
V
one.
and Michele Bonacina. And then Spinazzi on fourth. There we are again. François V trying to overtake Jens Roth. Artur, Ruben, a little bit on the back. Jens, Emil. It either they are left on the back or they are trying to do a smart race and start pushing on the second part of the race.
Good for Spinazzi to be there.
Spinazzi is now fourth.
Yep.
Maxime Chanet fifth.
Chanet's there.
And they're all together, huh? Then that's Bitados and the other French guy. It's maybe Felix.
Now, gradually, we're going to see Serrier and the Forestier brothers picking these athletes off as they go through the sections of the bike course.
So that's Francois V. It appears to be in the lead. Followed by Jens Roth, Michele Bonacina.
The pace is really frantic. Panagiotis Bitados, they're looking as if he's going to stick onto the wheel.
Oh, they're really close, huh?
Oh.
Serres.
Is that Forissier there?
I don't know.
Arthur?
It's very difficult to see.
So very soon we're going to get some splits coming up on the screen just to tell you what's happening out there. But oh, you see these berms that have been constructed. They're not as easy as you think when you hit them.
No, they're not, especially when you go a little bit fast, especially on these these counter corners.
Yeah, we saw one of the age groupers slip and take out some of the barriers. But my
there's a
goodness.
lot of people right now on this wood section park. Huh?
The noise
There's
as
a
the
lot of
bikes are going over this is phenomenal as well.
Yeah. They're really going fast.
What a wonderful concept. It's the first time I've seen this. And I have to say, it is so impressive. That's Arthur Serrier going through.
I think it's taking it easy. Yeah?
Now, I've had the fortune of watching Arthur Serrier race from being a junior, working his way up, dedicating his time to this sport.
So there we are.
Not with an awful lot of support from where he should have had it, but he's gradually built up.
Jens Roth
Just
again
edge the head.
First.
Yeah.
Francois V. Maxime Chanet.
Is that?
Don't see the colors.
And
Bonacina also.
Sloth is just dismounting.
Yes. And Spinazze.
Oh.
Oi, that's a lot of bikes.
Now
Ruben
this is where
Ruzafa, Arthur. Okay, we need some splits here. Oh my God, how many people?
And that's Arthur Serrier just there.
Arthur is about to start running now.
So out onto the run.
Francois V is leading.
My goodness.
Second is Bonacina. Is Jens Roth somewhere there? Is Jens Roth actually leading? So I think Jens Roth is leading, huh? Francois V in second place, Michele Bonacina on third. And then you have this bunch of guys.
And it's going to be Arthur Serrier leading that attack there.
Ruben, the other Arthur,
Ruzafa.
Carloni.
But you have to find your right line as well on the run. It's not a question of just taking it easy on the run. There are lines to follow for the run because it's quite uneven and there's some sections where the soil is quite loose. So Chanet is there.
Jens Roth is back on 5th place. So Francois V is leading the race by far.
There isn't anywhere on this run course to really ease up because even on the flat, you're going to have to accelerate, and the flat section where the grass is, it's quite uneven as well.
Yes, Xavier Daflon. So Francois V is.
So Jens Roth, Francois V, Bonacina.
Yeah, but this is out of T2, but actually Francois V is leading the race right now.
So Sam Osborne there holding on in 10th place for the Kiwis.
Bonacina, Spinazze, and then Chanet. Arthur, that is making his way. Bitados.
He's such a determined runner. Arthur is able to really focus the pace.
Serreri is also there.
And you see the athletes
Sam
are wearing
Osborne.
the swim goggles around the neck now, aren't they?
Ruben, Jens Emil, and Carloni.
So for the swim, if you had the choice of the risk of a technical failure with your goggles or not wearing goggles,
I would probably not wear goggles.
No. It's 200 meters.
But now I wear contact lenses.
Ah, okay.
And I need them. When I was racing, I didn't have them. So
you see, you've been spending far too much time looking at race stats and reading the XTERRA website.
Spending too much time working lately. Okay. So it looks like Arthur Forissier is running super fast, taking a lot of time and catching people from the front.
You see, the athletes who are currently leading, they know that the threat is coming from behind them. That puts even more pressure on them.
Yes. Bitados overtaking Serre is also overtaking.
So what you were saying was,
Samuelsson.
oh, look at that. And it's quite tight as well going around
Yes,
there.
it's tight. I mean,
What you said earlier, that the threat will be coming from the mountain bikers
yeah,
behind.
Yeah. We will see now when they get back into the swim, how they exit the swim, if they exit in small groups or they exit in lines.
Yes.
And if they all do a clean transition, this bike park is going to be a mess. And that will be awesome.
A clean transition is one thing, but then it's getting onto the bike. We saw Alizé Patier's losing so much time when she couldn't quite get the foot into the bike.
The thing is that she didn't lose time. She just lost momentum.
Yeah.
And instead of increasing the speed of the bike,
Yep.
she decreased that.
And then,
she
of
lost
course,
like seconds.
and that
in nothing.
advantage then of being fast, leaving transition to hit that climb, she had to expend greater effort to get up the climb.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we see Franz-Xavier putting his goggles on.
Look over his
and
shoulder. Look at that.
He's gonna leave. Wait, is that Arthur
2,
Forissier?
3, 4 of them. Now that is incredible. Look at what Arthur Serrier has done.
What happened here?
My goodness.
They're all together again.
Yep.
Forissier in second place. He was not even in top 5 on the first lap of the bike.
I can't wait to see
And
the
Franz-Xavier
post-production
is
work.
not even first.
We've got. We know we have a drone up there, so the images that they're going to
I
edit
think it's
in.
Felix. I think Felix now is leading.
He's done so well.
If at some point we have the splits on the transition, Franz-Xavier, yes, so
Forissier,
Felix
oh.
Forissier did an awesome transition, and now he's leading the first strokes on the swim.
But is this an opportunity for Chanet to perhaps push the pace, edge forwards, work with V?
And look at this, Michele Bonaccina,
Yep.
who was first
And
exiting the first running transition, now it's 8th,
Yep.
11 seconds on the back.
And Sam Osborne edging up from 10th into 7th place there.
What a race.
What a venue. It's just such a great venue here. And the way that the course has been constructed, I know that Nicolas Lebrun has worked really hard with the organisers here to create something truly spectacular. And he's achieved that. We had the opportunity to walk the course. Roger, you've had the opportunity to
Yes.
ride the course.
Yes.
Is there any part of you that says, I wish I was doing this today?
Yes, and I actually had this feeling last year when we started commentating the first short tracks, and right now I'm really like super excited. I'm not even sitting on the bench. I'm standing up.
Yeah, when you get the other side of the table and towards the screen, I'll
Look
bring you back.
how many guys in the front. I wish I
Yes.
could be there. Oh my God, this is so cool.
Now, we know that TV likes to see images like this. Fast, furious, exciting, with so many possibilities of things changing. This is the TV of the future. This is the delivery of the future. If you look at marketing XTERRA, tomorrow the long course is 2 laps of 20K out in the forest. It's impossible to broadcast that because of the...
It's impossible,
yeah,
but at some point they will go to a mountain bike kind of format.
I'm
pretty
sure in the future the technology will be there, but at the moment, to show how exciting XTERRA can be, this is a fantastic way of doing it.
Oh my God, can somebody cut those trees, please?
Well, I think, how many coffees have you had and how much Scottish shortbread have you had?
I've had like half of the box that you gave me already, because I had no lunch and I'm really hungry.
Okay,
Anyways.
so only about 5 or 6 meters to go now before they come out of the water.
So, okay, who's
let's-
now leading?
So
Is this Bonaccina again? But
how
Bonaccina
has
was
he done
11.
that? That's incredible
now-
swimming.
Franz-Xavier, Serries, Bitados, Sam Osborne.
It's
But
recompressed, doesn't it?
He was 10 seconds behind. And I
And over
specifically said
200
yes.
meters. Yeah. We said that we were looking at probably just over 2 minutes for the 2K, 200 meters. But look how intense this is.
Oh my God. So he took 11 seconds on 200 meters on swim.
Oh, can't wait to see this.
Oh
I
my
can't
God, there's a
wait
lot
to
of
see the
people. That's
splits.
going to be a mess.
You see they're losing a bit of momentum there. Yeah, Jens is back there.
Okay, so Jens now. Yes, the Danish Jens is now in the front again.
Wow.
Bonacina first. Francois B, Maxime Chanet, Artur Serreries, Bitados, Osborne, Forissier, Roth, Spinazze.
Well, that's a real surprise. And there's just a quick camera view there of Artur Serreries.
And Artur
who's moving
Serreries
to
now
the
is
front.
leading.
Look at that.
What the hell is this?
You see, that's using the ability to ride the bike over tough ground when your heart is screaming out and your lungs are screaming out. And Artur Serreries has once again shown everybody why he's a world champion.
He's also there, like fighting in the front. Who's that guy? I cannot see that.
Oh, look at this. He's really putting the hammer down. Look at the attack.
Oh my God.
Artur Serreries is really pushing.
Did he start too soon to push?
Well, I don't know. He's created the gap. He's got a safe ride now.
Bonacina.
Possibly
Francois.
when you enter the bike park, you don't want anybody in front of you. At this stage of the race.
At this stage of the race, it's really important to maintain your position on the bike park.
Yeah.
Because if the guy that's behind you sees space, he's gonna put his elbow there.
Well, we saw earlier.
Okay.
We're seeing the first of the eliminations coming in. Now, this is because of the run course being raced across the same track as the bikes, they have an elimination process. So if you're entering transition more than 120 seconds behind the race leader,
Look at this, look at this.
you'll be taken away.
We will start to have some mistakes here, I'm pretty sure, huh?
Look at that. Oh.
Bitados. Maxime Chanet on third, Bonacina, V, Sam Osborne, and Christopher Visti. How crazy is that? And they are all really together. So I'm really wondering what's going to be the tactic. If some of these guys from the front group is still holding for the last triathlon.
Well, you know how tough the leaders are, but it's going to be down to the mistakes that are made. This is a race that's going to be lost on mistakes rather than won on ability, I think.
Okay.
Look at that, a very tight turn into transition to start the second lap. Now, this acceleration away from transition, what's happening there? You see, there's the wrong gear has been hit, so the momentum, it's so important having that momentum. But Artur Serreries, he's not, that lead he had earlier, he's been eaten into a little bit, but we can expect to see him attacking on the hill, and it really is a tough climb out of this section here, up through the woods, twisting and turning over the roots, over the stones, down and around. And again, it'll be Artur who will use the ability to get forwards and lead. There you see, he's got, oh my goodness.
Okay, there we are. Serreries, Bitados, Maxime Chanet, Bonacina, Francois B, Sam Osborne, Christopher and Artur Forissier and Felix Forissier in the top 10 in 12 seconds.
That is just really intense. And I do like looking at the statistics after the race. I like looking at the
Look at
times
the guys
and the
pushing.
splits.
Sam Osborne making mistakes again.
Yep.
Ruben Ruzafa catching up from behind. Okay, and now Ruben also will start playing the game, huh? Because if that's him, no, that's Artur Forissier, and that's Christopher.
Have you raced against Christopher?
No.
Ah. Going back in the history, have you raced against Konrad Stolz?
Yes.
I remember Artur.
Yes.
Artur didn't have a particularly good race, but he was absolutely delighted to be on the same start list as Konrad, who was worshipped as a god, I think, in cross triathlon, wasn't he?
It is. I think he was the first cross triathlon superstar we had.
Exactly.
I remember a few races with him and trying to, because I was a way faster swimmer than him, so he would later catch me on the bike, me trying to follow him on my early days. There we are again.
You see again the lead that Artur created, only a short lead that's been eaten into on this very intense twisting, turning, climbing section in the bike park.
Now I'm literally thinking if Arthur is finding himself too soon in the lead.
Wow.
Now he's there. Everybody can see him. He
And
cannot.
everybody
he
will be
cannot
looking
make
to
any
attack.
Surprise. Yes. Okay, Ruben.
Oh, you can't split that lead group up, can you?
No.
With
I don't
the
think
risks.
so. Well, maybe now with the.
Oh,
We
here they
will
come.
see now what's happening in the run.
2, 3,
Oh my
4.
God, this is so
4.
exciting.
4 and then 3, loosening the shoes already as they come down.
Okay.
There's going to have to be a
There we
quick
are.
dismount here.
Arthur-
Racking the bike. He's got the advantage of racking his bike first because inside the
Yes.
transition area, just immediately to the left is his racking position. There he goes. No mistakes. Now, I spoke to Arthur before the race, and he said that he was taking absolutely no risks with transition. He was going to make sure that no time penalty was going to be...
Okay, but now there's a lot of bikes in the transition. They start running. So Maxime
Yep.
Chanet did a really nice
Oh, look
transition.
at that.
But they all still all together.
5,
Christopher
6.
also did a really nice transition. Sam Osborne lost a little bit of time there. He might be
But
able to
Arthur
catch
has
up
moved
again.
to the front again. Look at that.
Yes.
In that short distance, Arthur's running style is so distinctive, and he's edged to the front ahead of Maxime Chanet.
Yeah. I think Arthur is going to take it easy. He's going to lead this run. He's going to try to stick with the swimmers. The problem is Bitados and Maxime are better
Oh.
swimmers than Arthur.
Yeah.
So he might find himself 5 to 10 seconds.
Okay, over 200 meters in the water like this. They're better swimmers than him, but is there a chance if he gets onto their feet that he can take the advantage of
We will
them
see.
creating that?
We will see.
It's a short distance, but it,
No,
you know, how tactical
Well, that
can he be?
that was not...
That was Christopher, wasn't it? Oh, he's tripping there.
I'm not going to say anything about that. It's all right. Okay.
All
We
of the
saw
tape out in the forest.
some smart guys redefining the trail, but it's all right.
But once again, Arthur Serrier, using his run power, has now created a gap, 5, 10 meters at least. No,
No,
about
maybe
7
less,
meters. You see the swim cap and the goggles all ready for the next thing. And Maxime Chanet just there behind him. Oh,
That is really nice.
that timing.
Okay, so
that's
that's the timer, huh?
Yep.
So in 1 second, they're gonna cut, and every athlete that comes through that timer from that very moment, from this very moment, is gonna be out of the race. We remember it's not gonna be disqualified.
It's a lap, yes.
Okay, look at Jens Emil. Looks like quite fresh on the run.
He's looking very...
Yes.
The turnover, his pace is much quicker than the other.
Yeah, because we see, for example, Jens Rod that entered the transition with him.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. He's a big athlete. So these quick things not really suit him at all. So Arthur is creating a little bit of a gap. I would give him a penny to know if he's pushing or just being conservative right now, because he has
Is he-
opened quite a big gap now. Huh?
Well, he's young shoulders, an old head on young shoulders. He's very tactical, and he knows what he's got to do. And the other thing is, he's such a great supporter of XTERRA races. He knows the level he's got to give, the level of power he's got to generate for these races.
3, 4, 5 and seconds to the
Oh.
people chasing them. We see Karel taking some nice pictures from the wood structure. Okay, Maxime Chanet and Forestier running together.
Jens Emil, an interesting character, a vegetarian, but his great weakness is falafel and hummus. That's his great weakness, he says. But he has a ritual each night before a race. It's a big bowl of fruit salad and chocolate. That's his secret. That gives him the supercharged boost
I
for
think
his...
if he wants to win races, he will need to change this at some point. You cannot win XTERRAs with fruits and chocolate. Not at all.
Well, a big shout out to the camera teams who are running around in the heat, and to the medical teams. We've got medical teams dotted around the course.
And
So,
here we
swim
are.
cap on for Arthur with the goggles.
On, swim cap on, and Arthur will start swimming now in any second.
6 seconds.
Okay, Maxime doesn't have the goggles or the swim cap with him anymore.
No.
Okay, there we are. Arthur is
There.
going to get into the water.
He's putting the hat
First
on now.
place.
The goggles
With
and the
around
hat on now.
5 seconds lead. There we go. And then Bitados, I think, is going to catch him quite fast and eventually overtake him. And I bet that Maxime Chanet is also going to get into the lead. Okay, Sam Osborne is back on the game. And I bet he's going to get into the front also again, huh? His swimming cadence is quite high.
This.
So, Sereyes,
2,
Bitados
3,
in 2.
5.
3 seconds, Forissier, V, 15, Bonacina 15, Sam Osborne 15.
And it's good to see that Sloth Nielsen has edged up into that top 10 place
Yes. Let's see what he does. And let's see if Sam and Michele Bonacina can go back to top positions. Because we remember on the last swim, Michele got back 11 seconds on
I'm
the swim.
looking to see how these stats unfold, because the swim, that second swim was absolutely incredible. Everything changed in that second swim.
Okay, so Arthur is already...
Yep, he's been overtaken.
Arthur is still... No. Arthur is still in the front. No? Bitados is second.
Now, I thought that Bitados would have caught him.
Maybe he's just holding it.
He's on his toes, isn't he? Look at that.
Yes.
See, again, the difference in stroke.
Yeah, Bitados has a longer... It looks like he's trying to overtake him now.
Yes, there he
he's
goes.
doing it.
Oh, and look
and
at
he's
that,
going
so
to go
easy.
into the feet.
Is he going to overtake him before the boy or after the boy?
And that's Forissier.
Arthur? No,
And
that's...
Bonacina is there again. How the hell is he doing this? And where is Sam Osborne?
Sam is
He already
edging
overtook
forward.
Sam Osborne.
Yep. So the long haul now to the beach.
Again? Blue. Yes, but Bonacina was behind Sam. And now he's in front of Sam.
So Arthur
And
is
he
now...
did that in the prior swimming.
If Arthur's got any sense, he's going to really dig deep and try and catch onto the feet there.
Okay.
Of
Bitados is
Bitados.
first now, huh?
If he can do that, if Arthur Serrier can hold onto the toes and enjoy that bit of water, that easy bit of water just behind the swimmer, if he can get into that position and take the draft, then he's going to be in a good position. But just on his toes, that's Bonacina, isn't it? Come on, Arthur, you've got to dig in and get behind those toes.
That's probably Arthur Forissier
There he goes.
or Maxime
Okay.
Chanet. Okay, we have Bitados now out of the water.
One of the youngest on the circuit, and look at his performance.
Yes, Maxime Chanet.
Okay, Chanet. So Arthur did well to hold that position against the two swimmers.
And Bonacina back there, look at that. This guy can swim 200 meters, huh? Forissier, Francois V.
So, Bitados first on the bike. Arthur, a much better mount.
Oh, Maxime Chanet did a big mistake
A bit
here.
of a skid there, yeah.
He doesn't have his shoes on, and they all put the shoes. Look,
Yep.
Maxime is back. And he's
Okay,
still putting his shoes on.
And still struggling and losing that momentum.
Yes, and he still has the other shoe to put on.
Oh,
So that was
goodness.
not... Okay. So not to take shoes on before the bike, huh? So there we go.
So that is Bitados, and how close? There's Serrier
like
just
2
behind him.
seconds. And we will see how far back is now Maxime, huh?
6 seconds. 6 seconds off.
Yes. And fourth, Bonacina. Yes,
Yep.
there we are. So
What a
Serrier,
performance.
Chanet, Bonacina, Forissier in 20 seconds.
Sam Osborne back into 8th, Sloth Nielsen 9th, Spinazzi. Good performance from Spinazzi to put him back into contention in 10th.
Let's see what happens in this last lap.
Well, Bitados has really pushed. Look at that.
Yes, Bitados is pushing.
Well, that's, I have to say, that's a surprise. Chanet is edging up towards Serrier, but Bitados has gone off like a rocket.
Bonacina, Forissier, and Francois V. What a hectic second triathlon, huh? thing is, I believe Bitados can hold this first place, huh?
Well, he did this in Greece, winning the XTERRA race there in April. But he's coming now.
He's opening the gap a lot.
After Greece, he said, really happy to get to the win against so many good athletes. The swim was smooth, and on the bike I was able to be up the front with the Italians, and on the run I just did my best to go fast. Well, he's doing a lot more than that. This is a standout performance from him.
So we see now the top 3 guys are taking a little bit of a lead. Bitados with around 6 to 7 seconds to Serreguies, and Serreguies with only 3 to 5 seconds to
Look
Maxime
at that,
Chanet.
first lap finished.
Yes.
Bitados.
Yes, he's going really fast. We're going to check on this bike split on Bitados. Huh?
I've got 9 seconds. But then Chanet is attacking Serrier.
We will see this on the results. This
13 seconds.
This third bike. Look at he's back here.
Oh my word.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna
That's
get some time
26
here.
seconds.
Bam. That was so fast.
So 4 and 5 are about 13, 14, 16 seconds behind. But this is going to have to be the lap for Arthur Serrier to really dig deep. If he doesn't, then first position is not going to be his.
Okay. So we're gonna have the first splits of the bike. Really, really, really close to this finish. Okay, there we go.
13.
So we have Bitados at 11 seconds. Serreries, then Maxime Chanet at 12 seconds, right behind Serreries. Forissier 24 seconds. That's a bit out of this podium. Then Bonacina and François V. The only thing I can see here happening is that Forissier overtakes Maxime Chanet on the last run.
Or François V overtakes Bonacina.
That too, but the fight for the podium. The fight for the podium is going to be, for the third place, it's going to be against Maxime Chanet and Forissier.
Incredible, incredible performances we're seeing here today. Oh my goodness, this is really going to be very intense.
Okay, is that Bitados again on the bike park?
It is. There he goes. He's in the bike park already.
Guy is flying.
He's loving this, isn't he?
Okay, no mistakes, eh? Take it easy. Watch out. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. And where is Serreries? What is he doing?
Oh, he's increased the lead. That lead is growing.
That's actually, no, yes. That's actually Maxime Chanet in front of Serreries.
So could Arthur simply be saying, I'm really not going to go right into the red because tomorrow's the big one?
I think maybe he has left first place already from his mind.
Yeah.
And he's just tried to overtake Maxime on the run and take it easy
Well,
from
of the
there.
two runners, of the two athletes, Chanet much better in the water, obviously.
Yes.
We've seen now that this distance they're quite well placed on the bike. But of the two, Arthur is stronger on the run, isn't he?
Way,
but over
way better
1.1 kilometers. That's a big ask.
Okay, we're gonna count the time the moment that he starts running. Oh my God.
He's struggling. He's losing time. Oh.
Okay, now he starts running. Let's see how long does it take. Because if it's more than 10 seconds, maybe Arthur has a chance. 7. And we see Chun sprinting. Okay, so that's exactly 9 seconds. So Bitados lost a little bit of time in this transition, around 5 seconds. So we're going to see here the split. I'm going to take the split. And when this thing, oh my God, 6, 7, 8.
I've got about 8 seconds there. It was 12 seconds coming out of transition. Is now down to 8 seconds. So in less than 200 meters,
he took
Arthur
4 seconds.
has taken out 4 seconds. Now, where is Arthur going to attack? Is he going to attack in the woods, or is he going to attack on that long straight section?
Who you were talking about, sorry?
Arthur.
Forissier. Serreries.
No, Arthur Serrier.
Serreries, I think he's already now. We're going to see him in the corner. He's in the lead. Yes,
Yeah.
and that's 8 seconds. Still
Okay.
8 seconds, eh?
Chanet. Oh, hitting the bush there. That's
Yeah, they're taking some sort of a little shortcut there. That's still from the transition, eh? So we don't
Yeah.
have to believe that.
and that's Fabrice
And I
Louis
think
Bonacina.
Sergei is full gas. A Reuven move to the top 10. That's nice. Okay, Bitados
Okay.
looks
This
looks
is the
fine,
long.
looks
This is the long
great.
section. I thought there was going to be somewhere here that
He just
Arthur
looked
was going to.
back, and that's not a good sign when you look back, huh? Boom, hitting the road.
But the time is the same.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 9
So-
seconds. So he's holding, huh?
Chanet is dropping there. I think he's assured of the third place.
I don't know. Let's see Forisier because he comes faster. Then we see him Forisier, and it's around 11 seconds. 9.
He's
Only 10 seconds back. So there is a chance that Forisier still gets the third place here, huh? Let's see if Maxime is able to hold. Francois V. And Bitados is, yes, Bitados is going to take the win. I think Arthur, yes.
Yeah, he's got 9 seconds there, so I don't think that in this short
Something
distance
has to happen.
Yeah. Well, we saw Arthur last year. He hit a ramp, and the ramp fell apart in front of him.
Yes.
It disrupted him, but it didn't change the positions overall. But listen to the noise out there.
Really nice.
So a fantastic performance from our Greek athlete. The altitude training he's been undertaking in Samoris has certainly worked for him.
He's coached by Brett Sutton, huh? It's okay for me. I'm a fan of the guy.
Okay.
Yes.
That's Marmite, I think. There's a Marmite expression we use in English.
I think he knows what he's doing with coaching.
But Arthur Serrier holding on to second place there. So it's going to be a battle between Forisier and Chanet for that third place. But look at the crowds. Look at how many people we've got there supporting these athletes as they make the final way down to the finish. So it will be Panagiotis Bitados enjoying the glory moment here. Look at that.
Very nice, very nice. Really smart race, holding it there, waiting until the last section. Very good.
He believed in himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
Arthur Serrier in there, second place for him. Taking the time this morning to pose with some of the supporters.
Yes, he could hold the third.
Yeah, he's held on to that.
Very nice. Very
Whoa!
nice.
And this is...
He could have used this energy for something
Look
else.
at that. Oh.
Okay. And Bonacina also like
that has been a good performance for Bonacina.
Incredible on the swim. Like he was taking like 10 to 15 seconds.
Each time he was edging forwards and edging
And
forwards.
Francois V doing this Cristiano Ronaldo thing. Oh my God, Jensen Mill did a really nice one.
I said
Very
on the
nice.
bike and the run, he is the man. If he could improve his swim somewhere,
Very
he
nice.
freely admits that's his
He was
weakness.
not even on the top 15, I think, on the first triathlon.
Well, we noticed a difference in his performance in the European Duathlon Championships in the Dolomites last year. He won that comfortably, but when you put him into the triathlon off-road, it didn't quite happen to him. He had a great performance on the bike and the run, but the swim was what disrupted the performances. Sam Osborne all the way from New Zealand.
I want to see this guy racing tomorrow. Let's see what he's got. Sam Osborne never disappoints.
Well, that was exciting, watching the way that the positions changed again and again in the water.
Yeah. That was really nice. I have to admit, I've never felt so excited.
It was watching the inevitable happen. You think it happened in the first swim. Is it going to possibly happen in the second swim?
Yes.
And then it did, and it happens in the third swim. So Bonacina, his position changed so much as the race
whole
unfolded.
time, yes. No. I think before every transition and after every completed small triathlon, I had like 2 or 3 different guys taking the win in my head.
Yep.
And every time it was somebody different. And that was like creating some kind of, Roger, you don't actually know what you're talking about because like there's a new guy in the front now.
It's because the format is so exciting. The format is disruptive. I think Jackie, I remember as Jackie Slack, it's Jackie Allen now. She was saying how it is hectic, and it really is hectic. The changes can take place so quickly, and it's the transitions that can make such a difference. And we've also seen that whilst the swimming can disrupt the flow, once they get out onto the bike course, then that bike course is the one where the really strong mountain bikers will take that advantage back and throw it down. And I think we're going to go, look at, this is our final rankings there.
I think we're going to go
39 minutes and 36 seconds. Wow.
Yes, that's super fast. And I think we're going to go soon to Chun, who's going to have a quick interview with the winner of today, with Bitados. We're going to wait for him to start. There we are.
Here he is, just checking his microphone, making sure the mic's going to work. Chun, we're going to go over to you.
We're still not ready. There's some microphone problems. We're going to change the batteries.
1, 2. Yes.
I think we are. Okay, Chun.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Roger. So I'm here with Panagiotis Bitados, winning a massive battle with Arthur Serrière. So tell us a little bit about your race.
Fantastic race. It's a very fun. This is a short track. Very good show. It's a speed, and I remember my speed. It's very fun because it's speed. It's very good race for me. I feel good. This is the main pack for me. Yes, incredible battle with all the athletes, not only with Arthur Serrière in the first part. I'm very happy to race for one more time to race in XTERRA. And yes.
So at some point during the race, you see Arthur in front of you. What is your mindset? It's like, I'm going to go there, I'm going to beat him?
No, I keep my energy for the last. And I try to have a balance on the first part, and the third push hard to win.
So, Panagiotis, how old are you?
18.
18 years old, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the future of cross triathlon. Here's the present. Well done, Panagiotis. Back to you, to the studio. Thanks a lot.
That was fantastic, and what a wonderful moment. You could see how happy he was. He was 900 euros happy, at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's more happy to take the win than to take the money, because he's just like continuously proving himself that he can fight against top athletes. This doesn't mean anything for tomorrow.
No.
There's a lot of technique stuff up there. You have to be really experienced to go into this course. But I'm really happy that he has the confidence to show up and fight for the wins from the beginning.
It must give him so much confidence. He's only 19, but he's performing at this level against these athletes on this short course. Tomorrow is going to be completely different. A whole new ballpark with the full distance.
Yes.
We've seen his pace in the water. We've seen that he can really perform snappily over these this tough course.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that he can run. Although his final run, 3:55 for that final kilometre.
Yes.
Arthur
really
was
fast.
a couple of seconds quicker than him. But when we get a chance to put these stats up for you, please go to the website, go to the Facebook page. You'll find the links there as soon as we can get this information up for you. And have a look at these splits just to see how these athletes are performing and how they're really pushing so hard into the red. So
I think overall it has been a great event. It keeps proving that XTERRA has something to show. Of course, they still have to find like this golden organization, this golden way of organizing these short tracks. What is the best option if to stick into the same kind of modalities the whole time, or changing the length, do something a bit more longer, more shorter, or change the organization of the segments. But I think we just proved that XTERRA has a lot of excitement to show if we have the chance to be on TV, on live TV, and I really hope this gets going.
We've decided to really change the format by having the 3 mini triathlons rather than just the 2. Originally, we talked about having just 2. Moving up to 3 makes it a lot more exciting. And our next short track race will be in the Czech Republic. So don't forget, tune in, watch us, because we'll be giving you a fantastic race there as well. tomorrow is the big one, and you unfortunately won't be able to see this online, but there'll be plenty of videos that will be popping up onto the website, onto the Facebook page, onto Instagram, and everywhere else. XTERRA, the European Tour, is there already, but XTERRA, the short track tour, this is the first episode. Our next one is in the Czech Republic. Then a week later we go to Zittau, and then the final one is the big one. Where's the big one going to be, Roger?
The final one?
Yeah.
Where is it going to be?
Yeah.
So we have France, we have Czech Republic, we have Germany, Zittau, and we have the World Championships in Molveno.
In Molveno, a fantastic venue for you. Again, with a beautiful lake. And we're going to wrap up now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Roger, thank you for coming all the way from Zurich. And perhaps next time we'll see you racing.
Maybe. Not on the short track, because I signed the contract that I have to be the commentator on every short track. But for sure I'm going to be racing some XTERRAs this year. Thank you very much for being with us today, and see you in the next one in XTERRA Czech Republic.
And don't forget, these are our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So big thank you to our sponsors. You've been seeing them each time you've seen us. Ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.
Goodbye.